Welcome back to the Insurance Leadership Podcast. In today's episode, we have Brendan McLoughlin, who is the president of E123. They come with so much experience from administration and distribution and how to make things simple for their partners. You do not want to miss what these guys are doing in the marketplace. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the show. Brendan, thank you so much for being on the show today, man. I greatly appreciate you coming.
It's my pleasure, Ryan. I'm happy to be here.
Why don't we give our audience a little bit, kind of overview about you, what brought you into the industry, and kind of what your company does today.
Terrific. So I have been in healthcare on the product, sales, and marketing side for about 30 years now.
Okay.
And I've really run the gamut from prescription drugs, OTC drugs, medical devices, medical education, and software systems, mobile apps, and things that health systems use to train their doctors, to deliver care, to run their businesses. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades when it comes to a very specific trade, which is healthcare.
I like that.
And about 3 years ago, I got involved in E123.
Okay.
I am part of an investor group that brought some capital, but also some expertise and some vision to a really wonderful company.
Yeah.
It's kind of remarkable that E123 existed, frankly. And it's a testament to the company evolved from David and Stephen Jager listening to clients. And their clients were FMOs.
Okay.
And to some degree carriers, listening to their needs for technology to support distribution.
Okay.
And over the course of about 20 years, E123 grew up just solving those problems. I got involved about 3 years ago, and you know, my expertise, or I don't even know if you call it expertise, but the stuff that I do is building the business, right? But my very initial training was technology. I was a data scientist back in the 80s. I went to Virginia Tech undergrad because Virginia Tech, well, I went because I could get in. And nowadays, I don't think I could get in the way they are.
Got it under the old standards. That's
exactly.
Right.
I got in under the old public school
That's
standards.
Right.
But the reason why I was drawn to Virginia Tech is it was the only place in the country that let undergraduates work on a Cray supercomputer back in the 80s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
And I've always been just a fan and really in love with technology. But I also love marketing, and I love sales, and I love product. I love building things. I love building things that solve people's needs, that relieve their pain, that make them better, right?
Like it.
And so E123 is this amazing ability to do both. To a large degree, technology companies have not focused on the distribution part of healthcare.
Okay.
They focus on the provision, they focus on the claims, they focus on benefits. That's great.
Yep.
That stuff needs to be
they
focused
need to do
on.
it. Right.
But to a large degree, the distribution piece has been neglected. Okay. And there's a lot of inefficiency, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of unnecessary manual effort and reconciliation and data integrity issues that really don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. And if we get rid of them, we make it a whole lot easier for an agent to connect a person with the right product. And at the end of the day, agents connecting people with the products that they need it's a win for everybody.
Great.
Right? It increases persistency, it increases lifetime value, it lowers your cost, of acquisition. It makes happy customers.
Yep.
Right? When someone goes to use insurance and they are happy because of that,
that's what you want.
that is a massive win.
Right. That's right.
And it starts with connecting them with the right product.
That's right.
Right? So E123 really is about, we're a distribution management system for life and health. There are DMSs, lots of them out there, that primarily focus on P&C. And frankly, our world is really different. Mm-hmm. The layers of complexity in the distribution value chain for life and health insurance is nothing like the rest of the industry, the rest of the insurance industry, or really any other industry.
I would agree with you on that.
Right?
I would definitely agree.
And those layers of complexity can be harnessed by technology and used as a tool for growth, or they can be a stumbling block. And far too often, in our observation, they're a stumbling block.
Okay.
So E123, as a very big vision,
Yep.
wants to make carriers easy to do business with.
I like it.
From the carrier to the kitchen table agent or to the call center agent, let's make this process easy. The flow of data, the decision making, the sharing of information, all of that really can be a lot smoother and a lot easier. And the carrier that gets it right is going to be able to attract the best agents. They're going to be able to get the best product fit with the members that they're bringing on board. They're going to be able to really impact their growth. Not just save money. Right. To me, that's the key. So distribution management impacts everything on the distribution side: enrollment, billing, agent onboarding, hierarchy management, and commissions. We're here at ITMG previewing our commissions for carrier functionality. It's going to be a launch this spring, and it is the biggest product launch that we've done as a company. We have decided that commissions are a massive pain point.
They are.
They're the number one complaint that agents have.
They are.
The number one complaint that agencies have, and it's not the amount. It's paying them on time.
That's right.
Paying in a way that the agent can understand what they're getting. Letting the agent understand what the commission is before they make the choice of what they're going to sell, right?
Agreed.
Easily reconciling all of that, right? And
simplifying the process. I like it.
Exactly. Adding transparency, we say.
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
I don't ever double check my paycheck because it goes from my company to my direct deposit account. And I know it's there. And every once in a while I'll go in and I'll see that same number 2.5 weeks apart or whatever it is.
It's not like that with commissions.
It's not like that with commissions, no sir. So commission for carriers, and the idea is the carrier that figures it out and becomes really easy to do business with.
Agreed.
Agencies and agents will prioritize your product if they know they're getting paid on Friday for something they're selling on Tuesday. They've told us that loud and clear. So you can't really do it with a whole bunch of people cutting up Excel files and emailing them around. It doesn't work. You need a technology solution.
No, that's exactly right. So I love what your company's doing, and I love the automation. I love kind of technology. You guys are huge sponsors here at ICMG, doing a lot of things down here. I've run into you guys through several of our different partners, talking about how much you guys were doing for them, helping automate some of their processes, and when it comes to systems and quoting and all these different things, commissions. And it was great. I was like, I got to get these guys on the show. I want to hear a little bit more about what they're doing. So let's kind of get a little breakdown into your company. How many employees do y'all have? Where are you headquartered? Basic stuff like that.
Excellent. So we are technically headquartered in Laguna Hills, California. But we are a work from anywhere company by design. I got involved with E123 3 years ago, right as COVID was hitting. And by necessity, we became a work from anywhere company.
That's right.
But pretty quickly, I realized that there are some incredible advantages to not being work from anywhere by default, being forced into it, but by owning it, by saying, we're going to be a company where people can not work from home, but literally work from anywhere. How do we do that? How do we make that an amazing experience for our clients? And how do we make that like the greatest job people have ever had?
People want that. That's right.
And there are pluses and minuses about it. So we have roughly 40 full-time employees. And they are all work from anywhere. They have permission to set up their lives and their job the way that fits them the best. There are guidelines.
Right.
You have to be able to devote to work. You can't. Right. But for the most part, if, for example, one of our employees needed to go to Scotland for a personal reason, decided he would like to work from Scotland for a while, and it was not only doable, it was fun and exciting.
That's right.
The rest of the team took great joy from his adventures, and his productivity was as good, if not better, than when he was here in the States. And not all of our employees can work from overseas. We have a lot of regulatory requirements there. But certainly from a parent's house.
That's right.
From a vacation home.
That's right.
And so those 40 folks are augmented by about 20 consultants and outsource folks who do very specific things for us. So there's about 60 of us, all focused on the technology
I love
of
it.
insurance distribution. Yeah.
Well, I like what you said, working from anywhere, and you did it by design. There was a guy who several years ago during COVID, kind of the same thing. He was probably a little more forward thinking than the average person. He moved to Hawaii, didn't tell anybody because no one was able to see anybody. Everything was by Zoom, everything. He went to Hawaii, worked there for 6 months, and no one knew. And then at 6 months later, he had to go fly somewhere, so he flew there, didn't tell anybody. 9 months in, he tells them, hey guys, just so y'all know, I've been living in Hawaii for the past 9 months. And he said, I'm going to stay down here. And no one knew. His work was fine. He'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning Hawaii time and work till 2. In the afternoon, he'd go surf and do whatever. But he was the same block of time as everybody else. So I love that side of it. So one of the things that I've heard people brag on you guys about is your ability to be able to streamline some of your processes. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we were even talking about earlier, right before the show, that I loved hearing you say, we were talking about AI and some of the different things that we can do to be able to automate, but you were talking about how you try to get everyone on your team thinking about, hey, how can this process be better? How can we streamline this customer service call? How can we streamline this billing process? How can we do this? And I thought that was really good. And I wasn't planning on talking with you about AI today at all, but I think that's a great thought. I think that's quality leadership too, because you're trying to get everyone trying to figure out, hey, how can we make this task better, quicker, more efficient for the consumer, for the broker, for whoever's involved. What was kind of yours and the other leadership in your organization? How do you kind of promote that down to the people on your team to be able to get them being proactively thinking there?
Yeah, that's a terrific question. And that is, to me, the difference between management and leadership. Leadership instills a common vision and understanding that when I'm not in the room, people still make the decisions that I would have them make, right? With E123, our company lives and dies. Our DNA is about our clients. Focusing on health insurance distribution, by definition, so many of our clients are involved in individual. Mm-hmm. And
individual ACA, Medicare, or both?
Across the board.
Across the board, okay.
Medicare, ACA, under 65, short-term, term life.
Good.
Final expense. Right? Things that an individual person has to purchase, not something they're getting through their company, through a group setting. And that purchase, if you think about it, is vital for that family.
Yes.
When a family goes out into the open market to buy life insurance, health insurance, it's mission critical for them.
That's right.
This is their lives and their health and the health of their life and their family. And our clients make that happen. Our clients are the trusted advisor that those families depend on to be well.
That's right.
That is an incredible responsibility. And E123, every single person that works for the company feels that to the bone. If we do our job well, if our technology works, people are getting what they need to keep their families safe and healthy.
Yep.
And that's something that we actually take really seriously.
That's good.
So if the phones ring at 9 o'clock at night, I don't ask anybody to work if they're not on call, if it's not their job. But everybody in the company would.
Taking
and anybody
ownership.
in the company would.
That's good.
Right? If a client needs help at 9 o'clock at night, our folks step up and they answer that call and we celebrate that. So from a leadership standpoint, something like AI to me is no different than something like a customer service mindset.
Yep.
You got to understand why we matter. Why do we get out of bed in the morning? Because when E123, when we do our job well, it actually helps people's lives. Right. And if we don't, and they get set up with the wrong product or something that's not gonna take care of their family in a time of need, it's a real detriment. So understanding that and having that kind of part of your DNA, when we recruit people, we talk about that. As a work from anywhere company, we are constantly doing group Zooms, all employee Zooms, company parties, and things like that.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, how are you maximizing with the work from home? Everyone's got different strategy, but how are you maximizing that efficiency and still keeping that culture at the same time?
Yep. So it's a lot of, we are not a meeting culture, but we are a video call culture. right? So our water cooler is a Zoom meeting.
Yep.
And we well, first of all, we have a work from anywhere committee that is made up of leaders of the company, directors and VPs and managers of people who have committed to own the culture of work from anywhere. This isn't Brendan saying this is the way we're going to do things.
So they're constantly trying to figure out how to make sure they keep everyone engaged, the relationships stay there.
Exactly.
And so they have taken that as their responsibility, their job, to make sure they keep that, so it keeps everyone on. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that we meet people's social needs, because work is an incredibly important social outlet.
That's right.
Communication in both directions, so employees know what's going on, but they also know that they can raise their hand at any time.
Love it.
Everybody in the company is empowered to make things better for our clients, for their coworkers, for our investors. Everybody's empowered
That's good.
to raise their hand and say, hey, it could be better if we do X, Y, Z. That needs to be, it can't be something that you do once a quarter. We're going to now promote culture.
Yep.
It's every day, it's every meeting. I think every employee in our company knows the phrase from carrier to kitchen table agent. Mm-hmm. And they know what it means, and they know that that's our vision going forward.
So I like that carry to the kitchen table. When you're thinking about from a relationship standpoint and having people all over the country, having the number of partners that you have, how do you build the relationships, not inside the company, but how do you keep those relationships strong with your different partners? Because you may be in Los Angeles, someone else may be in Miami. And how do y'all try to do that? Do you handle a lot of travel by plane to get to different people, or do you have certain people in regions who kind of, hey, you're responsible for these partnerships because they're in your area, and you kind of make sure you take them out to dinner and you do that? How do you work on that side of it?
So that is all of the above.
Okay.
Relationships with our clients is absolutely paramount.
Key.
We are way more than a software vendor. For the clients that have worked with us for a while, they view us as a trusted advisor, and we take that pretty seriously.
100%.
So with every relationship, we'll have a team that's devoted to that client, and generally it's not by geography or by product type. You would think it would be, but what we try to do is we try to get people within our organization to understand like kinds of clients. There are certain things that a worksite or a small group FMO is going to face that's entirely different than an MA call center.
That's right.
And so we try to keep the expertise from our solution engineers, our client engagement managers, our customer success managers, our customer service folks. We try to keep them in worlds where they can learn and where they can become more and more knowledgeable about, about the industry. We tremendously value insurance experience. We have folks working on really every side of the business, the sales, marketing side, customer service and client success, the technology side. We recruit them out of the industry. So we have folks working with us who worked at carriers for 20, 30 years. We have folks working with us who've worked for FMOs, TPAs, who have been clients who use E123, and they know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how they can make it better.
That's exactly right. No, that's good.
And more often than not, when someone at E123 says, I understand, they mean it because they've done it. They've been there. And so those folks, we expect that they're, and frankly, the reason they love their jobs, their number one priority is their clients. We do things like we set up Slack communities for our clients.
That's good.
If you want to talk to someone at 9 in the morning, if you want to talk to someone at 9 at night, but you don't want to make a phone call, you can post something on Slack, and who's ever around. As a work from anywhere company, I've got folks in upstate New York. I've got folks in Southern California.
This guy's in bed. This guy's not even had dinner yet. That's right.
Exactly. And so that Slack is a great tool to let us have that sort of instant communication. We do structured meetings and things, but we also travel. We are. E123 is the number one represented company here at ICMG. And it's not because
I can agree with that. Y'all are everywhere. Signs everywhere, golf course, everything.
There are 17 of us.
Wow.
And here at this conference right now.
Holy cow! Wow.
We have a room down the hall or downstairs where we have 5 people from our tech team who are meeting with clients about this new commissions for carrier product that we're developing. They're actually sitting down with prospective clients for commissions for carriers, showing them where we are, getting their feedback,
and then to help improve the system. Yeah,
and actually writing the code.
That's right.
As we speak,
as you're hearing the information,
they're writing code to work into the final product.
So you guys did a lot of what we did here too with the Insurance Leadership Podcast. We said, hey, look, we're going to have all these different insurance leaders and
Absolutely.
At the thing. Let's get here. Let's do it all face to face instead of doing it by Zoom while we got everyone here in the area. You did the same thing with your programmers, bringing them in, so that you could hear the feedback and be able to make changes and show and take all of the information. So how, obviously taking in information, I love, you said it even at the beginning too, one of the things, you listen to the different things people suggest or bring up to you. How can we take action on them? The president of our company, Morgan White Group, David White, always has said that our best ideas have come from the agents we partner with. He said, and it's our job to make sure we listen to them. And when they say an idea, we may not think it's the best idea at the beginning just because we might be running down one train of thought. When you take it back, think about it, pick it apart, and see what it makes sense. Our number one product to this day, and now we're the largest carrier in the country with this one product, is because we listen to an agent.
That's outstanding.
And so, I mean, it's one of those things for us. It's huge. You're doing the same exact thing and have the same motto, it sounds like.
So we do, and I'd love to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, please.
It may be in a way that might be a little unexpected.
Yeah.
Commissions might be your best vehicle for listening to agents. That does not sound like that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, come on, give me some more information on that.
So when we look at a problem like commissions, we know carriers struggle with paying commissions on time. They struggle with paying them with transparency and with accuracy.
That's right.
The commission data flow encompasses every aspect of distribution. In order to pay commissions, you need to know that there was an application submitted, that it was accepted or that it was rejected, that a bill was rendered, that an invoice was paid.
And it came in before the cutoff time.
Before the commission cutoff time, that maybe a policy was disenrolled. You need to know that this agent works for that FMO or MGA or this agency, or maybe they've moved. You need to know what their specific commission plan is. You need to know when. You need to know where. You need to know so much data about that deal flow.
And keep it simple at the same time.
Right?
Yeah.
So the technology has 2 great opportunities. One is to keep it simple.
Yep.
Right? Make all of that automated. There's no reason any human being should ever have to touch any of that.
Agreed.
Except on an exception basis when the system says, hey, this looks weird.
Yep.
That's the first thing, is make it smooth, make it easy to do business with, right?
Agreed.
But the second thing is, now you have a treasure trove of data here. You have data that describes the work that agent is doing and ultimately how it results in lifetime value to you as a carrier. So we should point AI at that data. Let's take a look at what's going on in that data. Are there certain agents and agencies that sell products and they have a propensity, a couple of months later to disenroll? Are there certain agents within an agency that are doing a great job selling a new product of yours? Maybe not so much that you would see it in the aggregate numbers, but that suddenly agent X, Y, and Z are selling this new product of yours at a rate that is greatly, unexpected. Well, what it allows you to do as a carrier and as a leader to say, let's talk to those 3 agents. Let's find out what they're hearing and why they're having success.
I wrote that down on my paper just as you said that, because it's like, oh, that's a good thought.
It might take you 6, 8, 10 months to see that in the aggregate data, but you could see it in just the first couple of weeks of open enrollment. Now imagine you get on the phone with those 3 agents, you find out that there is a certain combination or a certain customer that this product really resonates with, and now you can tell all of your MGAs,
oh yeah,
hey, when when you're in the situation, let's focus on this. So using AI, it's not about making earth-shattering decisions. It's about, yes, absolutely making things more efficient. Replacing humans where humans don't do things well, like giant sets of numbers.
Yeah.
But it's also about finding those little things that a human wouldn't be able to do. or really don't have the time to do. And maybe 100 of those insights aren't worth following up on, but the one that is
right.
could grow your revenue 10% during open enrollment.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what do you see? What are you most excited? Obviously, y'all's new commission system. It's huge. You're super excited about that, and I don't blame you a bit. What do you see from an industry standpoint as maybe the biggest opportunities coming out in 2024, or the biggest things that you guys see outside of the commission side of it that you see as future opportunities? AI may be one of them, but future opportunities, what do you see being the biggest things coming up?
E123 really focuses on individual, small group, work site, right? Insurance sales that aren't happening through some kind of an employment system. And the pace of regulation hitting this part of the industry, it certainly is not unprecedented. We've been through worse.
That's right.
We've been through more.
That's right.
But it's the most it's been in a while.
Yep.
And one of the things that I love about this industry is that we are a group of very creative problem solvers. And generally, when new challenges hit this industry, we figure out ways to meet, at the end of the day, the needs of the people that need insurance.
Yep.
And I think we're in that kind of a phase right now. So I think we're seeing trends around things like bundling of products.
Yep.
And bundling of products that up until now have been siloed. So selling a Medicare supplement product and selling a final expense product at the same time makes brilliant sense.
Yep. I'd agree.
And the data that we have suggests that you can increase your revenue per client 2.5 times when you bundle products like that.
Wow.
But in most carriers, a Medicare supplement product would be in the health side and a final expense would be in the life side, and never the twain shall meet. So finding ways to break down those silos, I think is absolutely, we have a lot of carrier clients talking about that. Eliminating swivel chair applications where an agent has to create 2 applications to bring someone on board to 2 separate products. And I'll tell you, our friends on the P&C side of the business see this loud and clear.
Yeah.
What is, the number one ad that you see when you watch football is about State Farm bundling.
Yes, it is.
Bundling home and auto.
No, I couldn't agree more with you on the
Why
bundling
wouldn't you
side.
bundle life and health?
I agree.
It absolutely makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the P&C side got ahead of us on that. I say ahead of us, ahead of the life and health sector, I feel like, from that standpoint. Well, look, kind of as we're getting closer to kind of the end of the show today, thinking of leadership, what's something that you, or maybe even someone else on your team in the leadership committee, what are you really focused on this year to help develop and build out your team? I'm putting you on the spot.
That is a terrific question.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Got to be honest, that is not one that I prepared to answer. I certainly hope my team is listening. I've been trying to really immerse myself in advanced technologies and in AI and the way that we can use them in life and health, and that's wonderful. It appeals to the geek side of me. But along the way, I've actually seen some pretty amazing leaders talk about leadership and the role of technology. And the role of leadership in technology, and something that I heard that I thought was really powerful was somebody say that as artificial intelligence becomes more and more a part of our lives, emotional intelligence has to become more and more a part of leadership.
That's good.
And I thought that was fantastic.
That's a great quote, actually.
Right? Because we could very easily think about productivity tools like AI as a way to replace people.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't think the leaders of the future are going to be successful if they think about it that way.
I agree.
Right? I think AI is a way to make jobs better, to make people able to do more, to leverage the folks that we've got to be more productive for
leverage
our clients.
strengths and supplement on weaknesses, right?
Absolutely, right? And to bolster their ability to succeed.
That's right.
Right, and maybe backstop them a little bit when they fail.
Yep.
And to me, if we can spend a year where folks feel like their job is better.
That's right.
And they're doing a better job.
100%.
Then sign me up.
It's a
that
win.
is going to be a win for us. It's a win for our clients. It's a win for those lives that depend on us to provide them, with the insurance that their family needs. It really, when all of those things click, it is a win-win for everyone. From carrier to kitchen table agent.
I agree. You're going to laugh, but with a lot of the stuff you were just saying, we had someone else come speak on the show, and they were talking about some of the different stuff with AI, and they said the same exact thing with you, that, hey, you can't look at it as replacing people. This is, maybe it's moved people around to different positions to help supplement some of the things that, are mundane, that no one's really excited about, so they can do stuff that really empowers them and lets them use some of that creative thinking. And 100%. It's exactly what you were saying, the same thing. So look, last question I got for you now, kind of hitting on leadership. What is either your favorite leadership quote or the leadership lesson you've learned throughout your career?
I think the biggest leadership lesson I learned is the difference between management and leadership. I simply cannot do everything, and I simply cannot make every decision. If E123 is going to realize the potential that it's got, right? If we're going to seize this vision,
seize the day.
It cannot be me sitting there telling people what to do. So, I heard this quote once when I was at Johnson & Johnson and going through, they had a very disciplined system of management training. Is different than leadership training. And management training is teaching your team to climb the ladder. Leadership is making sure the ladder is leaning up against the right wall.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I think about my job.
That's so good. No, I like that. That's a great point for all of us to remember. Man,
terrific.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on the show today. I thought this was great, and just kind of running through everything. And it's nice to finally meet you as well. I've talked to a few people on y'all's team and have been hearing your name over and over for the past few months. So, and then seen it on every sign here around the conference. So it's been good. Well, look, guys, thank y'all for listening in. Remember here at the Insurance Leadership Podcast that a good plan today is better than a great plan a month from now. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.